Centuries ago, the Malian Emperor Mansa Musa sent his best and brightest scholars, explorers, warriors, and artisans across the great Western Ocean to discover new lands. They succeeded in ways no one could imagine. Now, 3,000 years later, their descendants have made a home for themselves on a new planet, and the calls of adventure and discovery are stronger than ever. Join creative director Tanya DePass as Invicta, the High and Old Blade Keeper, DJ Knight as Ikemba, the Musalian Biopriest, Michael Sinclair II as Ilay, the Misajai Lightbringer, Christina Ariel as Cyla 919, the Monsagene Biopriest, Abria Iyengar as Koseh, the Hyanol Fixer, and Eugenio Vargas as the Storyteller, as they explore new planets, make new friends, and treat everyone they meet luxuriously. Welcome to the Motherlands.
Oh my goodness. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Motherlands. I am so excited to be back with you all here in the Motherlands on Cypher of Tears channel for season 2. I sort of can't believe it's here. We've been hoping for it. We've been working towards it. You all have been telling Twitch you want to see it. And now we're doing it. So I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very happy to be here. My name is Eugenio. You might know me as DM Jazzy Hands if you know me at all. And I will be your storyteller once again this season for season 2 of Into the Motherlands. Let's go ahead and start off by introducing these fabulous people that will be joining us. You will notice a new face this season, so we're gonna hit that one last. But let's catch up with our players from last season. It is so nice to have you all back. Can we start with our host, our creative director, and our brilliant High and Old Blade Keeper, Tanya? Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm so good.
Oh goodness, I need some of whatever you drank before the show.
It's called adrenaline and nerves.
Got some of those too.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tanya DePass. I'm your creator and creative director of Into the Motherlands, and I play Invicta, your High and Old Blade Keeper. And let's see what Invicta's been up to since last episode.
Let's do find that out indeed. But before we find out, let's go down a row and say hello to the brilliant, the wonderful DJ. Hello, DJ.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hit me.
Hit you.
Hi, I'm DJ Knight. I'm a space and sci-fi streamer here on Twitch. Big fan of STEM, STEAM, all of the educational joys, and also I like being very silly, so ignore 97.7% of the stuff that comes out of my face. And much like Ikemba, I am a huge fan of cheese, so I feel like that's it. That's all there is to
Important.
it.
I mean,
is always the victor.
You hit the high points. What can I say? Let's go over to our other corner and say hello to our captain from last season. I'm very happy to have you back. Hi, Christina. How you doing?
Hi, I am great.
Great.
I'm Christina Ariel, and I am going to be playing Captain. All of you, Captain Cyla 919. I earned that title by taking it with force, so respect it.
It's right.
And I'm very excited to be back. I am a Monsagene Biopriest. She is essentially an android, really cool. She can tell if people are lying with her lie detecting monocle, and she has weaponized hair. So you will see her hair do some really, really cool things that I am excited as a possibility in game. And yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And to wrap up our returning 4, shall we say hello to our wonderful Misajai and also a wonderful human. Hi, Michael. How you doing?
Hello. So Michael Sinclair II. I play lots of TTRPGs. I play Magic the Gathering, and I'm a computer science student, so love STEM stuff as well. And really excited. So I play Ilay. Their pronouns are they, them, and they are Misajai Lightbringers. So I'm super excited to continue on the story and play with the rest of the cast and just ready to do this.
Me too. I love it. All right. And then you will all notice a new face who will not be a stranger to many of you. But we are we gave you a little sneak peek at a little bit about her character during that wonderful introduction by a friend of the program, Urban Bohemian. So don't tell us too much about Koseh yet, Abria, but tell us all about you, our newest cast member, Abria Iyengar. I'm so happy to have you with us.
I'm so happy to be here. Oh God, this is very cool being on the other side. Hi, I'm Abria Iyengar. I play a lot of TTRPGs and do like game dev and writing. You've kind of a merc all over the place. Yeah, that's it. Hi,
Sure.
I'm just happy to be here, and I can't wait to sneak in and be weird with all of you very, very cool people.
That sums it up pretty well, I think. I'm looking forward to it. So that is our crew for this season. I am very, very excited. We will get back to Abria and Koseh soon. But before we do that, we do, of course, have some business to do, which I will dispense with as quickly as possible. We do have a group of folks that we have to thank because they made season 1 possible and they are still with us making season 2 possible. So first up, we want to, just like before, give a huge thank you to Die Hard Dice for supporting our endeavors out here in the Motherlands. For those of you who haven't gotten your own set yet, who weren't around last season or who didn't get around to it, Die Hard did create a special Motherland specific dice set called Musalian Skies. They are blue and gold and gorgeous. I actually think you can get also uninked letters or numbers, so the numbers can be whatever you want. They are beautiful, as is just about everything they make at Die Hard. So when you go to dieharddice.com to get your set of Musalian Skies and whatever else you like, be sure to use the code Cyla919. No underscore or captain. So sorry, Christina. Use the code Cyla919 at checkout for 10% off everything in their store. So thanks, Die Hard. We super appreciate you. That code is good through the end of April. So get your orders in. Next up, we want to thank Blue Microphones. I'm pointing at my mic. You can't see it. It's fine. Know that it's there. Blue Microphones, making sure we sound good, providing us with the equipment we need for you all. I've been a fan of Blue Microphones for a long time, and they have been very generous and very supportive of us here in the Motherlands. So we are a big fan of them. You can check out everything they have available by going to their website, bluemic.com. Third up, as you may recall, we play this game using the Cortex Prime system. So we obviously can't go any further without thanking the folks over at Cortex by Fandom. We are so excited to get to continue to explore and share and tweak and play with their system. You should absolutely follow them on Twitter. Fandom has a tabletop division that you can follow on Twitter at Fandom Tabletop. And there you can find all kinds of exciting information updates because they are busy. So they'll be sharing information about all kinds of cool stuff they have in the works coming up, including Tales of Xadia, the official Dragon Prince RPG. If you're familiar with that show on Netflix, really great show. And I've seen some peaks of that system, and I know it's out in a lot of ways. So you can check that out. They're also developing a upcoming Legends of Grayskull Masters of the Universe RPG that'll make use of Cortex, which should be really great. And lots of other stuff coming down the pipe. So check them out on Twitter and at their website. And since we are so grateful and they are so generous, we are going to be giving away a PDF digital version of the Cortex Prime core rulebook every single week this season. So keep an eye on the chat. The mods will inform you all how to enter those giveaways every single week. And you do have to be present at the end of the stream when we pull the names to claim your win. Otherwise, we will have to draw somebody else. So huge thank you to Cortex for allowing us to use our system, for helping us out making it work, and for giving us all those codes to bring other people into this game. Finally, of course, we have to give an enormous thank you to Twitch. Into the Motherlands premieres exclusively here on Twitch because of their incredible support for us, and we are so glad and grateful that they agreed to continue to back our show for a second season. It's really great to see Twitch supporting and uplifting its users, and we are happy to be the recipients of some of that support. So that's the business. I don't think I missed anyone. should we do a very quick season 1 recap? I want like a sentence or two from each of you returning, oh gods, each of you returning players. And I can see Christina and DJ are ready. Should we start with you, Christina? You want to get us started? No, we should not. Okay. Who wants to start? You want me to start? Okay. Well, I will start by saying that our 4 space adventures, Invicta, Captain Cyla 919, Ikemba, and Ilay, were brought together by a sort of global peacekeeping, infrastructure building, diplomacy organization known as Torch. They were hired on to investigate a mysterious water shortage on the planet of Haathoreii, a planet inhabited by a race of, by a species of elephantine humanoids. And they had been having trouble with their water supply, so the crew was hired to take some much needed water to the planet, and if they could, figure out what the problem was. Okay, now who wants to pick it up? Y'all, not all at once. It's an audio medium sometimes. They gotta,
I'm just like, you asked the person with the worst memory in the world.
You all hide. All right, I'll keep going, and one of you hop in. Oh, wait, here we go.
So we got onto the ship, and we made a friend, and the friend's name was Bertrand, and Bertrand was like, and we all went to, we were in some jelly, and we went to a space station, and there was stuff that was like, and we had to repair the thing. But then there were these people that were trying to get in our ship, and we let them in our ship, but they were bad. And there was this lady who was like, saying like, she tried to turn on us, but she ended up dying. And we ate cheese. We had a slumber party. Invicta and Cyla were bonding. Ilay gave a lot of side eyes. And Ikemba ate a whole lot of cheese. And we've talked about this a lot. And the only reason I'm speaking right now is because I think it's extremely important to address the fact that that cheese was not meant for Ikemba. The cheese was meant as a gift to Invicta, but Invicta turns out was not a fan of cheese. So I would appreciate it if Ikemba would acknowledge the fact that it was not your cheese. What kind of cheese? Nacho cheese. Thank you. The defense rests.
Continuing on just for one brief moment. Ikemba didn't know who the cheese was for. He just knew it was a gift. So he said, appreciate you. And then he went into a cheese coma because that cheese was absolutely delicious. So you have like
I have incredible
Captain
taste.
Cyla 919 has fantastic taste in cheese because Ikemba ate all of it in like one shot. It's like, oh, fantastic. And then all the cheese was gone. It was great.
Here's what I love. For anyone who didn't watch season 1, it would not be unreasonable for them to understand that the entire season was about a cheese coma.
That's to be fair, yeah.
Yeah, well, anything to add?
Sure.
Yeah, go. Yeah. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, I know that when we were supposed to head towards the planet, we saw a ship that was probably held captive, and we had to go and rescue some folks on there. At that moment, Ikemba ate some cheese that didn't belong to him, so he was down and out for a bit. While Invicta and Captain Cyla 919 went onto the other ship and tried to ascertain what was going on there and helped rescue some of the people that were stuck on that ship. We were able to kind of help that situation out, and then they came back onto the ship, and then we had to head towards the Elephantine planet. We got there, we learned that they like to use, they refer to themselves by job title and not by like names and friends and things like that. And then they told us the situation. We had to go to the moon via a transport pipe. We went up there, we investigated why the water wasn't being put into the pipes to feed back to the Elephantine planet. We figured out that there was some sort of maybe unknown life forms that were up there messing with everything. We had to hop from station to station. Things were getting wild. And yeah, I don't want to do all of it, but that was lots of things.
Yeah.
Am I the last one left? Dang,
You are. I'm pausing pregnantly just to see if you would like to add.
I mean, we covered a lot of it. As for Invicta, she kind of grew a little bit as a high, and I almost said as a human. But you know, she learned the power of friendship. Rainbow goes here, and she learned that everybody is not mean and cruel and like she thought. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, and then she had to run for her life, and Cyla had to carry me through the desert.
Oh yeah.
And I remember that because we got fan art of it today. So
yes, we did.
Yes, and there was a lot of girls' night in, and I guess this is okay. Fine, fine. I'll paint my nails.
Yeah. So Invicta discovered that not everyone is terrible, but that some things are terrible. Yes.
Like those creatures that someone who's in the chat created
really wants us to talk about.
Yep.
Before I talk about the ultimate evil in the universe, I think Christina might have something.
Ooh,
yes.
So we also learned that Cyla did not want to be friends with everybody. She actually got her scar because that was her feelings, and she cut them out because her instructor told her that she didn't really have feelings, and she, like, whatever, even if she had the software, that her feelings weren't real. And she decided that day that she couldn't have friends anymore, but she decided to go ahead and move forward, and she made all of her friends peanut butter sandwiches so that they could feel loved. Silas starts to bring them food because she doesn't eat, but she knows that they do.
Yeah, that moment was a surprise for everyone involved, myself included, and I shan't soon forget it because it was real beautiful. But now we have to talk about the horrible things, which are these weird cephalopodic squid-like creatures, which were apparently what was causing problems up on Haathoreii's moon. There were a couple of ships that were very well cloaked and that you eventually figured out that you could search for by looking for the negative space in a sensor scope. And they didn't take too kindly to being discovered and thwarted. So they came and attacked your ship. One of them got aboard, in fact, did a number on Captain Cyla 919 and her hair. And it was really quite horrible, but the crew managed to defeat it and bring it back to Haathoreii for study, where things got even worse. We don't have to talk about that, but just know that there was more grossness and terrible things happening. We don't know a ton as of the end of season 1 about the creatures, other than that they are dangerous. They are as alien as anything any of you have ever encountered. And well, that sounded like a series of 3 things, but really it was just 2. That's all we know about them. So that is where we left season 1. Shall we hop in and kick off season 2?
Sure.
Let's do the thing. All right. So as we jump in, there is a bit of time that has passed. It's been about 6 weeks since you all returned to Vatoa and were debriefed about the events on Haathoreii and its moon. With the information that you all provided to Captain Rafia and the rest of Torch, Torch was able to identify several other previously unexplained, they called them situations, that they now believe are related to these creatures, which they have informed you are known as the Haplocks. Now, for a time, the Haplocks became Torch's primary focus, and an operation was begun, Operation Duokma, which you all know is a sea creature that's sort of, if we're comparing it to Earth creatures, it's sort of a cross between an orca, a killer whale, and a sperm whale. That has a split tail fin that is split for maneuverability but can combine for speed. It's a very cool creature that happens to be the primary predator for non-Hapalock squid-like creatures on Vatoa. So Torch thought they were being clever by calling this Operation Duokma. But anyway, so they started this operation to investigate, learn about, and stop and or make contact with the Hapalocks. So several teams were put together, including all of yours, and you were all dispatched to various possible Hapalock contact locations. But unfortunately, nearly every site that you and the other teams visited might have had some evidence of squid-like creatures having been present at one time, but the creatures themselves were never anywhere to be found. No one has caught sight of these creatures since you all fought them in space above Haathoreii. So this went on for as long as Torch Brass was interested in it. But unfortunately, with no real information coming in, even civilian reports of Haathoreii-like creatures being sighted out in the oceans of Haathoreii, even that has dropped off to almost nothing. So as far as Torch can tell, after about a month, the Haathoreii threat has disappeared as quickly as we learned about it. For now, anyway. So, since there's not much to do, Operation Duakma was downsized to essential staff only, and that does not include the four of you. The operation has become a bare bones sort of surveillance operation, keeping a half-hearted eye out for the squid creature's return, but there hasn't been much. So in the meantime, probably with some urging from now Major Rafia. She has received a promotion. Probably with some urging from Major Rafia, you all earned some R&R time and were given a couple of weeks off to settle whatever it is you need to do now that you're working full-time here at Torch, go on vacation, do whatever it is that you would like to do. You have earned it. So the first thing I want to know from our returning players is what you've been up to. It's been about a week, maybe 10 days since you all were released on your R&R time. So coming to a close, we're about halfway through your rest time. What have you all been up to?
Invicta would have been, working on her sword form, making sure her house is in order in case she gets sent off into space or something. But she's just like chilling in the garden and storing herbs and things like that. But her sword's always with her, so she's been doing that, and she's been trying to hang out with that Salansi recruiter.
Oh yeah, what was his name? Denis, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, okay. What has Invicta been like the one to reach out?
A little bit. So after we got settled at Torch, she could then find his name, and then was like, "Hey, I took that offer. Want to get lunch?"
Yeah, and Denis was like, "Absolutely, sure. Welcome home, welcome back, I guess." Yeah, absolutely. Now look. No expectations, no stress, no pressure, but like, how was it?
Lunch or other things?
Yeah, well, let's start with lunch. I was trying to like ease up to that, but we could go there right away if you want.
Well, I mean, there's been time. Lunch was great. They finally hit it off. The same camaraderie they had when he showed up to Recruiter is there, and since they're not in the same division, it's not weird. There's no boundary crossing, and lunches became dinners, and dinners became drinks, and eventually Invicta learned how to cook for a Salansi because she wasn't quite sure what to feed a Salansi.
Yeah.
Like, what do I feed a plant person? Like, I can't give him a salad. That would be weird.
I think Denis thought that was really funny. I don't know that you said that out loud, but like Denis used to that sort of thing. I think a lot of Salansi are, and I think
probably she was like, she made a salad that first time she cooked for him, and then was like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry." I hope that wasn't a relative.
Oh yeah, I love that. Really good. Oh, this is delightful. Yes, you and Denis, we're gonna check back in on that. I like it a lot. What else? Who else? What else we got going on during this break so far?
Ikemba checked out every place that involves cheese on this planet. He just spent this whole time just like tasting cheese everywhere. Just like, oh, is that a new cheese place? Perfect. And he would go have a seat, glass of wine, taste, follow up with some bourbon, more tasting, just have a good time. It was fantastic.
Yes. Oh,
And he did a lot of
what
practicing his hand-to-hand combat because he's a fan of combat, but at the same time, he didn't want the cheese to do too much, lessening of his skills. So he was like, all right, cheese, training,
training.
and then more cheese.
What a-
You train to eat the cheese is what
That's
really
it.
would have happened here.
I mean, that's why I go to the gym, so I can eat more cheese.
Basically.
I love it. I love it. Let's see. What do I want to know about these cheese tours? What was? Oh, I know. Has Ikemba found a cheese he doesn't like?
Limburger.
Okay.
Can't
Is
do
it
the
because
smell.
it's it's smelly? Okay, so it's the smell.
To him, it smells like gym feet. Like
Oh,
you
God.
be at the gym all day, kicking the bag,
I
and
just left.
can't
Mm.
eat that cheese. He can't do it.
Yeah, I feel like with your cheese and training, like back and forth, it makes it even worse. So yeah,
Don't
no, I
cross
feel
the
that.
streams. That's always the rule in every of the things. You don't cross the
That's
stream.
right.
You don't eat cheese that smells like training, and you don't train in a room that
With
has cheese in it. That's
there it is.
disrespectful to the cheese. Cheese sweats are one thing, but getting sweat onto the cheese, that is just a party foul. And he wants no parts. So that's just disrespectful. And yeah, not the chunky blue. Like you get a
Oh,
nice mild blue. with,
sure.
like, maybe a little bit of brie on the side. Like you kind of blend those to kind of smooth out the blue with some creamy brie. Just
See, this is
perfect.
why I asked, because I knew. I knew, and I love it. Also, I'm like, okay, so Invicta and Denis, and Ikemba doesn't like smelly cheese. What else am I gonna get?
Michael
what else?
already
Oh.
sent me the downfall of Ikemba.
Yes.
I got that Twitter
The
notification.
cheese elemental. Yeah, that was good
Ikemba's
stuff.
downfall. It was
Oh
problematic.
goodness, I love that. All right, well, speaking of Michael sending you stuff, what's Ilay been up to, Michael?
Sure. They have been they had some time. They're gonna go on like a multi-day hike with Maria, and I don't know if I named the like leader of the crew, but if I haven't, Decker, we'll just call him Decker.
Okay.
And so we all went out on a multi-day hike, involved maybe some rock climbing, some camping, some finding some hot springs, just a way to kind of get Ilay's feet back on the ground and kind of get themselves grounded because they have been on a ship with a whole bunch of people and getting to know them, and it was a lot for them to kind of go through in a short amount of time. So they're just trying to go back to something familiar and get grounded. So
I love that. What was there anything unexpected that either happened or maybe that you found? Did you see maybe a new creature or vista or formation or something? Or was there a surprise amongst your companions? What was unexpected about your hiking trip?
Yeah, that is a great question. I'd have to think about that, but I guess probably what comes to mind is that group, the group of Ilay, Decker, and Maria.
Mm-hmm.
They got closer during that little trip after the crew went through that traumatic event where lots of them kind of got injured, and them being able to kind of like slowly get their bearings back on the ship, and Ilay being able to be there with them. And Ilay also had to at some point get a new pack. So I think when I landed back down after a day or two, Maria and Decker probably got them a new pack. So that was pretty nice.
Oh, I love that. I'm still sad about that dang rucksack, but I'm glad your friends got you a new one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now I can not have to contort this season into a pretzel to try and get you that rucksack back, so that's good.
Got a new
all right.
one.
I love it. Okay, and last but most certainly not least, what on Vatoa has Captain Cyla 919 been up to for the last 10-ish days?
So if you were looking at Cyla, you would just see her sitting with her feet pressed together, very centered, two scopes around her eyes, and she herself is inside of a virtual reality world where she has been in behavioral modification training for the last 2 weeks. And it's actually like a self-help camp for Montegane
Yep.
to learn how they can grow and learn to let people in. So we just kind of find her, yes, counselor.
And how are you feeling today, Captain Cyla 919?
As if you ask me this question all the time and I tell you again and again, I do not feel.
Cyla 919, tell me, what is it that brought you to us? Now, I know, before you say it again, I've asked this many times as well, but do us a favor and remind us.
I am here to help. I am here to grow and be a better teammate to my friends.
Very good, Cyla. Anything else?
Yes. I have been promoted in the time since I have been home, and I would respect if you would refer to me by my proper title, which is Admiral Cyla 919.
My apologies, Admiral Cyla 919. I shall verify the rank and update our programming. Hold, please. Admiral question mark? Okay. Very good, Cyla. We're happy that you came to us. How do you feel about your friends today? Do you miss them?
If by miss you mean I noticed that they are absent, yes.
Does their absence make you process any other thoughts?
Absence makes the compressor run faster.
I think the counselor actually does sort of let out a smile at that. Now, may I ask, why did you make that joke?
I have been reading a book called How to Make Friends and Influence People, and it alludes to charm. Part of being charming is telling jokes, and I have learned from the internet that puns are the highest form of humor.
We gave you the wrong book. That's not true. Well, you are making progress, Admiral Cyla 919, and I congratulate you. It is just about time for your immersion therapy. So if you would switch over to the Children at Recess program, and we'll see how you do today.
Would you like to play with this toy? We can share.
And on that, on Captain Silent, or Admiral's, I guess, Silent 919, offering to share a toy with a virtual projection of a child. That is what our returning crew has been up to for the last 10 days since they got their R&R leave. But of course, it wouldn't be a day with Torch if there wasn't a surprise. And so, with about 4 days remaining, in your R&R period, you all receive urgent summons back to Torch headquarters. It is directly from Major Rafia, and there is no explanation other than that your presence is required as soon as possible. And so, much like the first time you arrived here at Torch, you arrive at the enormous tower that is the Torch headquarters. You enter into the pristine atrium at the base of the tower, and are very quickly recognized now after everything that's happened. So you're greeted by other Torch agents. The truth is, some of them are actually a bit nervous to see you back because though you all have been capable agents of Torch, you're also sort of the symbol for everything that's gone on with the Hapalocks. And so seeing you back has made a few people at Torch a little nervous because they assume that something must be going down. But since the four of you don't know any more than they do, you are able to make your way up, this time not to a meeting room, like when you first arrived the first time, but to Major Rafia's office. She has specifically summoned you to her private chambers for this. Who is the first to arrive? Of the four of you, I should say. Yeah. I didn't want to volunteer you, but
Nope,
yep. Yeah, so Ilay, you walk into a sort of not small, but definitely smaller than the big conference room that you met in the first time. A smaller office. It is meticulously clean and organized, which, you know, based on everything you know about Major Rafia, sort of tracks. The one thing that catches your eye as soon as, well, actually, there's two things that catch your eye as soon as you walk in. One of them is that you see this display case in one corner behind Captain Rafia's desk. And inside the display case, on a sort of translucent pedestal, so it almost looks like it's just floating in the middle of the case, is a wrecked, to say it's cracked and broken does not even begin to explain the damage, but a wrecked, nearly destroyed Mansagene faceplate. The other thing, now we remember that Major Rafia is a Mansagene, I should say, and for those who were not here with us last season to know that Major Rafia is a Mansagene, one of our android sentients in this setting. And so she has on display this wrecked, destroyed faceplate. The other thing you notice is that you actually are not the first one to arrive in Major Rafia's office. There is a Hyanol that you don't recognize. It's not Invicta. And as far as you know, this was to be a private meeting between your crew and the Major. So Koseh, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Ilay sees?
Yeah, you see a like Hyanol sitting in the corner. She's got silvery fur with like dark stripes across it and like a big poofy sort of poorly dyed pink and purple and blue afro, and she's sitting in this like sort of massive bright yellow jumpsuit, and she's chewing gum, and she keeps taking this like weird bar that sits around her neck, and she pulls it and snaps it out like a slap bracelet, and it kind of curls down into a little android animal form that kind of looks like a ferret, and then she like kind of nuzzles it and then sends it up the wall to start investigating some of the pipe work and some of the things going on in the office. And it's only about halfway through that she like turns around with her giant glasses with big like bright teal eyes and goes, oh, hi.
Hello.
Don't mind that.
Okay, there seems to be lots of interesting things in this office.
Koseh.
Ilay. Major Rafia?
Not here, I should clarify. Not here.
Got it.
Yeah, sorry, should have clarified that. Not here.
Do you need an adult? You good?
Yes, I just thought we had a meeting with Major Rafia. Are you someone who works with her?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, all the time. I'm very important. And she like adjusts her jumpsuit, but it's too big. So she kind of just makes it look sloppier and like frumpier on her, and then kind of tugs it. And she, in very short order, forgets about talking to you and is now just playing with her jumpsuit, trying to like tie it back to get it to sit like properly, and has forgotten that you're there.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Yes, I have not
Hi.
left.
Hi.
Is what is your
Koseh.
relationship?
Oh.
Yes.
What?
What is your relationship or your work with Major Rafia?
Oh, I am.
At that moment, I will interrupt Koseh to say, at that moment, the next one of your team walks in. Who else would be relatively on time?
Hit me.
It you, okay. All right, so at that point, before Koseh can answer you, Ilay, Ikemba joins you in Major Rafia's office.
Ilay, it's good to see you again.
Good seeing you. I smelled you coming in.
Yeah, I have been eating a lot of smoked powder, as some would say.
Just
full of
be
goo.
careful.
Of what?
You don't recall last time.
I've learned a lot more about the amount of cheese one can eat without cheese sweats.
That's what
And
it
also-
is. Oh, I'm
Yes,
sorry. You're talking.
I should have introduced you to Koseh. Koseh, this is Ikemba.
You smell like cheese.
I do. It's a pleasure to meet you, Koseh.
It's so nice to meet you.
So yes, about this cheese.
Go on.
It was amazing. It was smoked Gouda. I partnered it with a fantastic bourbon and a bit of spiced rum. It was amazing.
Far be it from me to interrupt a cheese monologue, but between Invicta and Admiral Cyla 919, which are either of you going? I should just go ahead and ask the question that I need to ask, which is: are either of you going to be like late to this meeting?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. I am probably not far behind Ikemba.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and come on in, Invicta, and we'll check in with our Admiral in a moment.
Invicta walks in and sees everyone else, and then this strange Haathoreii, and she stops short and kind of tilts her head like, what are you doing here? Who are you?
It's a lot of attitude off of this. Hi, Koseh? Did I do something? No, it's fine. It's not me. It has no. Hi, I'm Koseh. No. Okay. No.
No. Well, I'm Invicta.
That's a very cool name.
Thank you. But this is to be a private meeting, I thought.
Mm-hmm. And more of you keep showing up, so that's pretty weird for me, all things considered.
Well,
what do you do?
And I just tap the hilt of my sword.
Oh, wet work. Cool.
You could say that.
Yes.
Good to
All
see
right.
you again.
So let me just ask, how late are we talking here? Mm-hmm.
Not very.
Okay.
Possible.
Okay.
So Admiral Cyla 919 walks into the room with an admiral's hat on, and she has her hands in her pockets, and she walks in with her back straight. I read that you shouldn't arrive to a party too early, so I made sure that I left 5 minutes between myself and the last person that possibly could have arrived. And as long as I arrived with that amount of space, I am not the first person to arrive to the party. Therefore, it's not awkward for me to arrive at this time, even if I'm. What's that feeling when you are looking forward to something?
Anticipation.
No, who are you?
There it is.
Me? The first arriver.
You.
So the awkward one, probably. Oh, my name
Who is this
Koseh.
hussy?
Cyla.
I was told that hussy is a proper colloquialism when you are meeting someone and you are becoming well known.
It is not. It is.
Oh.
It is not.
Does that mean I can call you hussy back?
Yes, we are
Hmm.
sharing colloquialisms, and if I call you hussy, then you may call me hussy as well.
Oh, Admiral Hussey, we are gonna get along super good.
It's Admiral Cyla 919.
Oh,
Koseh.
Hussey.
I cannot resist having Major Rafia walk in as Koseh is saying something, 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 Admiral Hussey. So that's when Major Rafia walks in, because
oh,
amazing.
thank you. Oh my.
You all may recall that formerly Captain, now Major Rafia, was your point of contact when you first arrived at Torch. She is an older, well, we'll say older than Cyla 919, Monsegene, who has been working her way through the ranks of Torch for some time. She comes in, closes the door behind her, hears Koseh call Cyla 919 Admiral Hussey, and just sort of freezes and looks at Cyla 919. Now, let me ask you. You said you had the hat. Do you also have like the epaulets with the stripes? Are we like?
I am dressed as befitting my station.
Okay.
I am wearing a proper blazer,
Okay.
bedecked with my rank and station.
Okay. Great. So Major Rafia walks in. She takes everything in. She sees you in that outfit, Cyla 919. You all know, because you've spent time with your erstwhile captain here. You all know that Monsegene do not have to respirate, but I'll be damned if Major Rafia does not take a big old deep breath. Well,
Is that insubordination? Who outranks who? I don't pay attention.
the Major nods, heads over to where Cyla 919 is, looks at you up and down for a moment, reaches over and peels off one of the stripes on your epaulets, Cyla 919, and just and sort of leans down and says, "One day, but you know that your promotion was to Lieutenant Commander." And then goes behind her desk. But it was very quiet, and in theory, only Cyla 919 heard it.
I disagree.
About only hearing it or about the promotion?
I disagree entirely.
The Major oh, go ahead. Yes. The Major, now comfortably behind her desk, goes, "Your disagreement will be recorded. Now, I am glad to have the 5 of you," and she looks at you, Koseh, for just an extra second. Here. My sincerest apologies for calling you back from your R&R time early. Command did not feel that we required your particular expertise, but I thought it best to err on the side of caution. I would like the 5 of you to take on a recovery mission. I know this is not your usual work, but I have my reasons.
Did you say the 5 of us?
Aye.
And the Major looks to you, Ilay, and says, "Yes, you will understand shortly that the new addition to your team, Koseh, is necessary."
Major.
Engineer.
Admiral. I understand that you would like to bring the hussy on with us at this time. However,
Now it feels mean.
I have only brought a pre-prepared number of sandwiches, and my sandwich to person ratio is often, I would like some preparation time to make sure that they're you can't bring on a friend that doesn't have a sandwich. If they don't have a sandwich, then how do they have a sandwich? They can't have a sandwich.
Lieutenant Commander, you will be provided the appropriate amount of time to prepare the correct number of sandwiches. Koseh.
I was just asking if the sandwiches were here now and if they were a gravity sandwich or a not gravity sandwich.
I've never heard of a gravity sandwich.
No, if you put sticky things in the bread and it's all together and doesn't fall off when you're upside down, that's a non-gravity sandwich, and I can eat those.
I only use peanut butter and jelly and occasionally ham.
Okay.
I could err on the side of prosciutto.
That was funny. You're funny.
It seems, the Major continues, that a ship has crash landed near the town of Mandira on the coast. No injuries have been reported among the local population, but unfortunately, that is where the good news ends. We have thus far been unable to make contact with anyone aboard the crashed ship. It's unclear what the situation is in regards to the ship's crew. Did they perish in the crash? Did they escape the wreckage? And if so, where did they go? There are no reports at this time of strangers being sighted near Mandira. Stranger still, unfortunately, is our intelligence division's inability to identify the origin of the ship. The engine energy signatures didn't match anything Torch has on record, and we were unable to determine the ship's flight path based on the atmosphere entry vector. The Major snaps her Manzagene head over to Koseh.
Sorry. Continue. I'm listening.
Thank you. But she does take a minute to just make eye contact with each of you before she continues. Finally, it is only fair that I share with you the real reason I insisted upon recalling the 5 of you for this mission. It seems that we at Torch were not aware of the ship's existence until after the crash occurred. There was no indication of the ship on any of our long-range sensors, and planetary defenses never saw it coming.
That's not normal.
No, Invicta. It is not. Do you know why I made sure that the 5 of you were assigned to this mission?
Because of our previous dealings with you and the mission that actually brought us on board to Torch.
Correct. In part, Invicta. The reason I asked for you, and in particular, the 4 of you who went to Haathoreii, is also the reason that I asked to meet you here in my office. Most of Torch leadership believes that the Haathoreii threat has passed us by. But I was at your debriefing. I saw your faces. I know what happened. And I don't agree. It is unclear to intelligence here whether or not the cloaking technology used by this ship is in fact the same as the ships that hid from you on Haathoreii's moon. I want to know for certain. Your mission is to go and investigate this crash site, gain access to the craft if possible, in order to determine whether or not there are survivors. Once we know more about the status of the interior of the ship, we can dispatch a proper salvage crew to take possession of it for analysis. I know this might be a waste of your considerable talents. And Command thinks I am overreacting, but I trust you in this matter, Adder.
Why am I going?
Ah, yes. Thank you, Koseh. The four of you are familiar with, of course, our Haathoreii agent, Bertrand. Previously, your onboard engineer and owner of the Wistful Wish. Unfortunately, as you may or may not be aware, at the same time that the four of you were afforded R&R time, Bertrand was recalled to Haathoreii. It seems that the situation there, after everything that went on, is somewhat unstable, and we thought it best that Bertrand return to see things put aright. He was also tapped to potentially become a new Grand Minister in the place of the one that was lost. So far, we have not heard whether that will be a reality. And there's the slightest little quirk of a smile in the Major at this point. The last time I spoke with Bertrand, he seemed eager to return to his friends. For now, however, you require an engineer. You will be investigating a strange craft that we know very, very, very little about. Koseh here is a capable fixer.
That feels like an understatement, but I'll take it as a compliment.
Mm-hmm. Are there questions? Transport will be provided, of course.
Is there any intel you can provide before we leave?
There is little that we know about the situation. We do, however, know a bit, and most of that can be relayed to you upon arrival by Torch's two contacts in and near, I've forgotten the name of the town. Where is it? Mandira. Mm-hmm. Two oceanographers and marine biologists at the nearby Oceanographic Research Institute were the ones who alerted Torch to the situation. Asalje, a Solansi marine biologist, and Yaktur, a Hyanol oceanographer, reported the situation and will be your contacts on the ground. They will get you up to speed on the situation as far as they know it. Do remember, they are civilians, aliens. Beyond that, Invicta, unfortunately, we know very little.
All right. Thank you, Major.
May I speak with Invicta for a moment?
You may, Lieutenant Commander. If there are no other questions about the mission, you will be provided with supplies and transport. And until that time, you are dismissed. It
No.
is good. I'm sorry, Lieutenant Commander Ender?
No, we are not dismissed. I will say what I had to say to Invicta in front of all of you. You said that Bertrand had returned to his friends. We are Bertrand's friends. We have been Bertrand's friends. We worked very hard at our relationship with Bertrand, and you just hand us the hussy and call her new Bertrand and expect us to move on with ourselves. Now he's the grand man. Who cares? I don't care. I'm not capable of caring, but if I did care and have feelings about this, they would be very strong feelings indeed. And I think that you should acknowledge that we would like to have had the chance to say a proper goodbye to Bertrand before we just replaced him with
I'm new Bertrand.
I understand and appreciate your concern, Lieutenant Commander Cyla 9199. Would you mind remaining behind for a moment for additional briefing, Lieutenant Commander?
Admiral.
Lieutenant Commander Ander?
Admiral. I will
The
stay.
rest of you are dismissed.
Hold on, I'm waiting for something to come back. And she just stares at the roof until that little like mech comes out of like a grate. And she kind of just grabs it when it jumps out of the air. Okay, I can be dismissed now. I'm gonna go. Koseh, not New Bertrand. Or Hussey. And then she just gets up and leaves.
I follow.
Amazing.
I
Someone
look at
follows as well.
Cyla. I look at Cyla. We can talk once you're done here. And also, Hussey is not a nice greeting. I don't know who told you that.
I was in a virtual reality room on my sabbatical, and everyone kept saying Hussey.
I don't know why they told you that, but it's, from what I understand from the old Mycelians, it's actually an insult.
Old Mycelians called me Hussey from time to time.
It's an insult.
Noted.
Good luck. And
Yes, Invicta. Good luck. Amazing. And Ikemba, I presume you also follow most of the rest of your team out?
Yes.
Okay.
As Invicta walks out, he just kind of like follows out and tries to like run up and talk to Koseh after the conversation happens here.
Yes, absolutely. And we will definitely hone in on both of those conversations after we take a brief break. We do want to allow everyone a chance to get up, stretch, get some water, take a bio, whatever you need. So we are going to take a short, we are going to aim for 5-minute break, and then we will be back in. This season, our episodes are 2 hours long, so don't go too far. We will be back very shortly to find out what Major Rafia has to say to Lieutenant Commander Cyla 919.
Admiral.
And and what Ikemba has to say to Koseh. Don't go too far. We will be back shortly. Thank you all so much for being with us here for our premiere of season 2. Hey, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around after that break. We are all beveraged up and I don't know what I'm saying. Let's just get back to the gameplay. Welcome back, everybody. Second half, season premiere of season 2 of Into the Motherlands. And we find ourselves, for the moment, in Major Rafia's office. Most of the team has headed out, but I just know, but I'm going to say it anyway. Lieutenant Commander Cyla 919 is left there to speak with Major Rafia, and the Major says, "So, how are you doing?
Ask me that.
She takes a seat. She'd been standing during most of the briefing with the group. She takes a seat and sort of pulls the chair around a little bit. And she's still very much in her, in her sort of command pose and everything. But she pulls her seat out from behind the desk a little bit and she says, Lieutenant Commander, may we speak as Mansagene and not Torch agents?
Yes.
Thank you. Then, Cyla 9199, I ask you again, how are you doing?
Well, I have been doing well. I have been in therapy.
She nods at that, that is clearly what she was hoping to hear.
Please don't
I
pull
am-
out a notebook and start to make notes. It will make me very uncomfortable.
She puts it away. No. But she does say, that's good. Things can be difficult for us sometimes, particularly here at Torch. I hope I am not crossing any lines by speaking so familiarly with you, but I understand mission stress combined with personal development can be difficult. I was there once, and I hope you will trust me to be someone you can come to.
I have learned that it is important to convey your thoughts, which may come across as feelings, but essentially are just thoughts. And my thought is that you brought in someone new and we were not properly prepared. And now you expect me to be best friends with them. And I do not know if I'm capable of being best friends with a new best friend.
If I may set your mind at ease, I can assure you that nowhere in this mission brief are you required to become best friends with Koseh. That said, Ed, I offer you my personal and official apology that you and the rest of your team were not notified in advance of Bertrand's absence. The mission was sudden, as was his recall to Haathoreii. But I understand the 5 of you had an understanding, and that will be different. For what it is worth, Koseh is capable, as far as her paperwork shows anyway.
May I ask her a favor?
I suppose you may, eh?
May I take 4 of the candies from your candy dish on your desk?
She nods and says, you may.
Thank you. And it's admirable.
You are dismissed. And I thank you for your understanding about the realities of this sudden mission.
Change is important and something that we must get used to in the course of life. Not everything can go on the schedule.
Ah. When you're back from this mission, we should talk. That is a familiar line.
Good day.
And just before you hit the door, Cyla 919, the major says, "Oh, and Cyla 919?"
Yes.
It's Lieutenant Commander.
But I've already changed it in all of my systems.
That is a problem. Shall we send you to diagnostics, Ostics, to have that changed, or would you prefer to do it yourself?
Cyla stands up, straightens her back, straightens up her jacket, puts on her admiral's cap, says that won't be necessary, and walks out.
As you walk out, just before you close the door, you are. There's no logical reason that Major Rafia would say something out loud under her non-existent breath, but she does anyway. And you just maybe think that you might catch her saying, "She shouldn't be in such a hurry." Let's hop over to the rest of the crew, and I believe that Koseh and Ikemba wanted to have a little chat, which nothing would delight me more, to be honest.
Ikemba just saw the mech and was just enthralled. I didn't say it earlier because I'm a doofus at introducing myself. Ikemba's a biopriest, so he's all about like bringing things to life. So seeing her robot, her little mech, and with his belief of life is logical, he's just like, that thing is awesome. So he's just like, Koseh, if you have a moment, you have a little robot. It's a mech.
Dewey. And she just holds it out, and it goes from like a sort of like solid bar that it was in her hand when she grabbed it, and it kind of flops back out into its spherity form and starts skittering. And you see now that like she has these giant round glasses, and the right side, one of them is just like filling with information, and it looks like schematics and a layout of the building, or at least this floor, just for whatever that's worth.
And his eyes just light up. He's just like, that is impressive. Did you make this?
Yeah. It's one of the first things I made. Lots of iteration. You can hold it. You can just hold him. His name is Tiwi because that was the sound he kept making at first because I was very bad at making, but I got better and he's very good now. He's very helpful.
Tiwi.
Tiwi. But you can say it normal, but it sounds kind of squeaky.
So you're used to saying it as you heard the sound initially when you created it.
It was a mistake. It was bad wiring, but I was really young. Like 4-year-olds don't have a lot of like motor function.
Wait.
So, you know.
This was one of the first things you made. And you were only 4 years old. That is magically impressive. And he's just like staring at it. And he's like, was that the schematics of the floor that I saw?
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to see how far he could get before I got in trouble or, you know, the meeting ended badly. And it looks like roughly 64% of this floor. So if you want to know what most of this floor looks like, I can send that to you.
First, I would love that. Please do.
Okay.
Second, you sent it up in the major's office and just let it go through the vents. The major watched you bring it back, not knowing what it was, and didn't say anything.
I tend to get left to my own devices.
I see the sneaky. That is quite impressive. It is a pleasure to meet you, Koseh.
It's so nice to meet you. What was your name again? I'm sorry, I was listening.
It's all right, Ikemba. I understand that I have a strong scent of smoked Gouda
Yeah, do you
and
have any
alcoholic
extra?
beverages.
Can I trade? And she pulls out like a handful of candy from the dish, from the major's dish. I will trade you.
No need to trade. At this point, I just tend to keep a small stash of nibbleable sized cheeses
Oh,
on me at all times. So here you are. And he just hands her like 3 little, like the circular little wheels of cheese. It's just like they're all
Nice.
just like smoked Gouda wheels. It's like, hey, please enjoy.
Yeah, she's like starts happily peeling a baby bell, and then she like tosses a piece of candy, and you can feel like sort of out in the air in your direction, and you can feel Tiwi kind of like squirming to like try to catch it on your behalf.
And then like
I don't know if you let him go to do
He-
it.
like Kim is just standing there holding to you in one hand and just watches it, just like reach out, grab it, and then
And
just
then
like present
gives
it. She's like,
Yeah.
here. And it's like, well, that's just, well, thank you. And just takes his other hand and takes it. What kind of candy even is this?
Mm. I just showed up first, and then there was stuff in the bowl, so I took some.
Perfect. Tiwi, would you mind unwrapping this for me? Just to see if Tiwi can do it, because he's just
Tiwi
like
looks at
enthralled.
you and then turns and looks at me, and you actually see like a little line of code, like a command go, and then it turns back and starts unwrapping it. I'm sorry, he's not very good at listening to other people yet.
That is fine, because he watched the code
Uh-huh.
and he understands
Yeah.
code, even though it's not biological. He understands though that logic of it. It's just like, yes. So internally, he's just like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, this is perfect. How
You're smart. You got that. I feel like you get this, you get it. And she's starting to get like close, but she gets like a little too close.
I appreciate your understanding. Just give me a moment. He kind of like steps back a bit and
Oh, sorry.
this was a bar of metal and it just turned into this. How did you do that?
So when I go, it's kind of hard to have Tiwi kind of being moved all the time. So I can put him in my tool belt. I'm not wearing my tool belt now because I had to come in for a meeting, and they were like, you always dress like you're about to be inside a ship, but this is a meeting and you have to dress normally. So I didn't wear my tool belt, but there's like a slot for the tool belt for Tiwi. And then I make a lot of my own tools because they're for the whatever ship that I'm working on. I'm sorry, I did lose track of the question.
It's fine. I was just impressed that it seemed to be a solid bar of metal.
Oh, yeah.
And then it looks like a ferret now. I'm very intrigued by this.
Thank you.
I-
I'm not
he
bad
hands-
at this,
hands
by
Tiwi
the
back.
way. I know that your Capmerl doesn't like me and it isn't excited for me. I promise I'm very good at this, and I'm not mean at all.
Well, I can't speak for her, Lieutenant Commander Admiral Cyla 919, but
Good
what I
luck,
can
y'all.
say is she's new to friends. So this is a major change. I can't speak for her at all, but it makes sense that she's a bit startled by not having Bertrand here.
Did Bertrand
Oh,
die?
no.
You also seem mad at me.
Before
just
you address
mad.
that, Invicta, I have to know what you and Ilay have been doing during this conversation.
I was gonna say,
I have to know.
I think I like
Invicta, how was
I see.
your leave?
Peaceful. I gardened. I practiced with my sword.
Gardening?
Yes. Is that so hard to believe, Ilay?
No, I just
Mm,
it didn't come to me at first of something that you would do.
Why not?
I know that normally you enjoy fighting a lot, so it was my bad assumption.
And Invicta just kind of looks away and she catches herself before she says something incredibly rude to Ilay. And she just kind of glances at them. Every sword must rest in a sheath at times. I'm not fully combative every waking moment. I lie.
My apologies. Well, I'm glad to know that your leave was relaxing and was mine.
What did you do?
Um, just went on a lot of trails and hiking and getting in touch with nature again.
I did some of that myself.
I can't. I'm still on gardening. I'm dying.
What do you think of our new companion?
And as Koseh has been talking, Invicta's like, you know, like when two cats meet each other and they're not sure about each other?
Uh-huh.
Her fur's been ruffled, and when she's like, oh, I built this when I was 4. And she's like, show off.
Oh shit.
Like she didn't say it, but you're like, she's like, oh, you're one of those traditional Hyanol. Like,
Is that everything
but
okay, Invicta?
why do you say that? Why wouldn't things be okay?
Because your hand is reaching for your sword. No, sorry. Go on.
Take you anywhere.
I just truly don't know why you continue to.
One of these days.
Whole mess.
Your stance got a little combative there for a second.
It could have been because of the questioning of my leisure activities too.
Well, my apologies. I just want to check in. I guess I will continue forth.
And I'm just going to, step ahead of Invicta and kind of give Invicta her space, because Ilay was just like, I haven't seen Invicta in a while, and Invicta seems to be the most pleasant person at the time because everyone's wilding out. So
it's true. What is going on?
Ilay's just like, all right, we're back to where we first started. So they're just gonna like walk in the middle of everyone and not really be around anybody at the moment.
I mean, my gardening and my vacation was interrupted. I was chilling with some tea.
I love it. All right, so we have now reached the point where Invicta gets called into this conversation with Koseh and Ikemba. So remind us what was going on when you all called over to her. Truly, after she said gardening, everything left my brain, so I've forgotten what happened.
Koseh just said, just asked if Invicta was mad at her for some reason.
Oh yes, what a great segue.
And Invicta's just kind of looking at her, and she's trying really hard not to let the past with other Hyanol influence the way she responds to her. It's like, I just met you. Why would I be mad at you?
I have a question for the DM.
Yeah.
Do I know about Invicta? Like, what do I know?
I think you probably you were closer to Torch HQ when you got the call. And so I think you have been provided with a super bare bones, I think, but some basic dossier information on the rest of the crew. Mostly like what they do. So, protection and combat and weaponry is Invicta's specialty. That she is a Hyanol, you might know that where she's from and little things like that, but it's a pretty dry sort of informational dossier more than like about her as a person.
Yeah. It's hard to find information about you, and I'm curious. So you like fighting?
Yeah.
You're smart, but you choose fighting.
Is that a problem?
Like, obviously I'm not going to say it is, because do you know how often your hand just sort of moves towards your sword? Like, I get that. I see it. I see a lot of things. So, no. And you see that she's kind of backing up, and she kind of gets behind Yeah, she kind of just starts to slide a little bit behind Ikemba. Just like, no, not at all. Seems fine. I just want to make sure that we're good. Like you're not weirded out about me or anything.
You hear a little bit of a growl as she kind of continues to stare you up and down. She's like, well, I just met you. I don't know if I like you. Get to know me, maybe.
Okay. Do you want a piece of candy?
No.
Okay.
And
All
it's
right,
like,
well, go ahead.
oh no, she was just gonna be, just like gently like nudge Ikemba out of the way, like I can still see you.
Oh, I'm not hiding. I just think he smells really good.
You complained about how he smelled like cheese.
Oh yeah, I'm not
Like
super
she's-
consistent. And she's just gonna turn and start walking farther down the hall and
I'm
keep about
not
like
consistent.
keep about 5 meters between her and Invicta.
I love it. Well, this feels like a good time now that everyone has been offered candy and cheese for our lieutenant commander to rejoin us with, as I recall, some more candy from the dish. So Lieutenant Commander Cyla 919 comes out of Major Rafia's office. You see Koseh head down the hall apparently, and the rest of the crew sort of there.
I'm going to make an effort.
With what?
Koseh,
Yeah.
would you like some candy?
Yes.
And as Koseh says yes, Cyla notices the wrapper of candy that is hanging out of Koseh's pocket. You accepted my candy. You had candy of your own.
Do you want candy?
I offered you candy.
Yeah, I thought you were being nice. And I like candy.
But you can't take my candy if you already have candy. You're accepting something that doesn't belong to you. Yes, I offered it to you, but I do not understand why you would accept my candy and have your own.
Okay.
Bertrand would never.
I'm not Bertrand.
Cyla,
Bertrand wouldn't accept candy, and you know he wouldn't accept candy if he already had candy and he's had a wrapper hanging out of his pocket. He wouldn't take my candy.
I sense some anger here, Cyla.
I don't know how to be angry, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You think I don't know anger when I see it?
I'm not angry.
All right. I'm going to send you a recalibration certificate and I'm going to go have a drink. Bye. And I just like walk after Koseh.
When you get like really close, Koseh's just gonna go, I think you should stay and fix it.
Oh no, you were so close, Koseh.
I'm gonna say, like, under my breath,
How's this worse than the first mission we went on? I don't understand.
and I'm just going
Probably
to.
have sandwiches too.
Sandwiches? I would like a sandwich.
Ilay,
Quick,
Oh, you don't have sandwiches in your
Hey.
pocket?
No,
Hang
I
on,
didn't
I
bring
gotta-
a sandwich.
What's Ilay doing?
Ilay's actually going to be the first one to dip. Like, if Ilay could find a way to stealthily or make themselves not look noticed as they slip away to go off and do what they're gonna do, because Ilay was gonna check in with Ikemba, but Ikemba's
This is
way
a
too
lot.
close to all the action at the moment. So
I love it. Yeah, you can. You know what? Well, no, because rolls are threats for stress, and while this is in fact a stressful situation, not like that. So we'll say that Ilay, you can get away without. Well, eventually someone will notice, but you can head for transport.
Don't leave with the sandwich. They're for my friends.
Give your sandwich to Koseh. I don't need it.
No, if you like sandwiches.
You can ask me.
Koseh,
Mhm.
would you like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
I didn't bring any sandwiches with me. And I really like sandwiches that don't fall apart when I'm upside down. So I'm very excited about the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but I don't want other people to be mad at me if I say yes, especially you, because you're an admiral. So I would like a sandwich very much, please.
I appreciate that you called me Admiral.
I know
it
that
is a
that's not
gravity
technically your
sandwich.
thing. Yeah, gravity So hold on. And she kind of flexes her neck a little bit, and you see like a couple relays on the back of her, like go from like the back of her skull and down her spine, like all light up, and like big spider arms fill up and like pin themselves in the wall. And she pulls her feet up so she's like a little spider. So sometimes I'm upside down when I fix the ship. So when things fall apart, I don't like to eat them because then they get in other places. And then sometimes your ship breaks because there's ham in a place ham shouldn't be, you know?
Oh,
If you'd like, I can make you different sandwiches that
No,
don't
this is
fall
nice.
apart.
You don't have to do anything special for me. I promise I'm very good at my job, and I don't know who Bertram is or why you're sad about him, and I'm not trying to replace him, but I just want us to get along because that's the important thing.
Page
So you can give me a sandwich or not.
73, page 73, paragraph 47 of my book says that if you want to make friends with someone, then you should make an offering. And I don't want you to think that I don't like you, because that's not how you win friends or how you influence people. So I really am sorry, because I don't know. I just got feelings installed and I'm trying to learn how to process them, but I don't want anybody to know. And so I'm really sorry. And if you'll just work with me, then I promise I'll make you gravity sandwiches and you just can't tell anybody.
She's gonna like lunge forward. It looks almost like an attack, but just to grab your hands and go, whatever you need. And if you need help with your programming, you can just ask me. I'll only help with your consent, but like, yeah, new programming, let's go.
Do you know how to reprogram hair?
Yes. I mean, yeah.
I think at this moment, Major Rafia steps out of her office and sees 4 of the 5 of you still standing in the hallway outside of her office and goes, can I do anything for the 4 of you? Where is Ilay?
When Invicta deuced out, she wasn't staying.
Great. So the 3 of you. Is there anything I could do for the 3 of you? And where are Invicta, Ikta, and Ilay lie?
I killed them.
No. They walked away for a moment.
Transport is waiting, she says, and then walks back into her office and just shuts the door firmly behind her.
That's my normal. That's what I normally. That's pretty normal. Can we go see the ship?
Yes.
Sounds like a good idea.
Ikemba, I think so.
Oh,
I love
I'm
it.
sorry. Really quick, before we move on,
Yeah.
Ikemba,
Yes.
I thought about you while I was away. And Cyla is gonna open up her chest and she's gonna take out a block of Munster cheese.
Is that for me?
Yes. I've heard that Munster is the only proper cheese to indulge in.
Well, that is quite amazing of you. Thank you very much. I appreciate this. And I believe in our last mission, I had an issue with some cheese that, from what I gather, was not meant for me, but I received it as a gift. So, I believe I was informed that it was actually from you, in which case, this is the second time you've gifted me with cheese, and for that I'm greatly appreciative.
If you'd like, I can make you a grilled cheese sandwich at any time that you request.
Oh.
Well, that is an honor.
Accent
Install
service
it in
with
griddle
sign
setting.
language.
Fantastic.
I shouldn't be here. And she's gonna run away. You have your moment.
Love it.
And I wasn't hearing incorrectly, Lieutenant Admiral, earlier that she said when the Major asked where our team was, did she whisper, "I killed them"? I believe that's what happened. I didn't mishear that, correct?
I think that we shouldn't jump to conclusions about our new friend, and just because she made a passing joke about murder doesn't necessarily mean she is a murderer.
Well, I wasn't expecting that she was a murderer, but
She might
Just
be, but you
interesting
have
to
to
me.
give her time.
time is good. And also, I imagine this monster is going to be amazing. Thank you so much. Is there anything I can get for you? I'm not sure what you would like or what you have need of.
Sequins.
Then I shall find sequins the first opportunity I have. Is there a specific color you prefer?
All right. At this point, Captain Major Rathia starts turning off hallway lights. She doesn't come back out.
It seems we should walk to the transport, and I would love to hear more about the sequins.
Look, let's be very clear. Me too. All
I'm,
right. Yeah, go ahead, Ilay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Ilay's going to the ship to perform pre-flight checks and get everything warmed up. They don't know if they're gonna fly, but they're just waiting for the rest of the crew at this point.
Yeah, it is a sort of planetary shuttle, so it's not a big interstellar ship like the Wistful Wish was, because you're just going, you're staying on planets to get to this coastal town. So yeah, you can the pre-flight is important, but shorter than it was on the Wistful Wish. So yeah, absolutely. Sure. So eventually, you all make it down to the hangar and find the shuttle that's been assigned to you all. And Ilay has gotten through the pre-flight checks. There are, of course, on this ship, there are command stations, and I have absolutely no doubt that you all will take them, while also knowing that, it's a puddle hopper. Like, it's mostly going to run on autopilot the whole time. It's going to be a pretty simple trip. But is there... I hesitate to ask. Is there anything we should know about you all boarding this shuttle and getting yourselves situated before we head off to Mandira?
Invicta sits kind of off to herself, and she's just trying to figure out, Koseh, like, what city she's from, because she's still like, she's going to struggle with this, because basically she got picked on by the other Hyanol. And so she's like, ooh, you're one of those little smarty pants that probably picked on me when I was a cub. So she's not sure how far she trusts Koseh, but she, even though she didn't outwardly express it, she is very upset about Bartrand, and actually a little hurt that Bartrand didn't tell us himself about his promotion and what was going on. So she's like kind of like in her own head and fuming as she sits there. So she's like just kind of sitting there, arms crossed, a little huffy, but trying not to show it.
Love that. Yes, I am looking forward to seeing that develop. Anything else? Anything else we should know?
Koseh comes in and immediately rips off like the main tech panel. Does anyone want to go faster?
I certainly wouldn't mind as long as it's safe.
Yeah. She's just gonna turn and start working.
Oh my goodness, I love this. Now, obviously, Koseh has the know-how and the capability for certain. But this is quite the endeavor. Now, basically, you just want it to go faster. Are there any other
Yeah, you gave
modifications
us
that
like
you're
a
hoping for here?
No, you gave us like a Prius, and I want it to be cooler.
Smooth.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, great. Okay, so I think I wasn't sure we were gonna get one in this first episode, but I think we might have to have you make a roll to futz with the ship. So let's go over there and see what happens.
Okay.
All right. So this is exciting for so many reasons, not the least of which is this is your first time rolling, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to take this very quick moment because we have about 15 minutes left in tonight's episode. So I'm going to take this very quick moment to remind the folks hanging out with us and watching tonight that we are still developing Into the Motherlands. We are using the Cortex Prime system for mechanics, but the way Cortex Prime works, there are all sorts of modular rules and you can sort of mix and match and create your own system. So we are still developing that system as we play with you. We got a lot of great information from season 1 and we're sort of continuing to flesh it all out. So I won't harp on this quite as much as I did last season, but an important reminder that everything you all are watching is sort of like in some ways a public playtest. And so we're still figuring out mechanics. So if stuff has changed from last season, or if stuff changes later in this season, it's not that we're wrong, though I will say it might be that I'm wrong, but it also might be that we're just updating and fine tuning and fixing things as we go. All right, that's the important disclaimer. Now let's hop into this roll. So Koseh, you have a dice pool that you are going to put together. So why don't you start telling me about what you think you want to use for this dice pool? You can use one from each of the sections on your character sheet. So distinction, skill, a specialization if it's appropriate, a value, and an asset.
Yeah, she's definitely a fixer and is trying to like lead with that foot. Her skill, like this isn't really fix. It's more like I don't know if I want to say it's fix or no. She's kind of trying to fix it just to make it a little cooler as far as skills go.
I think fix is I think fix is like messing with mech, even if it's not technically fixing it. So that works.
Cool. And value-wise, because there was just no reason to do this. This is a power play. She is trying to assert herself within the group and prove herself. But she left Tiwi with Ikemba, so she can't use that to help. So I think that's the full pool.
Okay, great. I love it. Fixer, fix, and power. So to remind both you and the rest of the cast and the folks watching, you're going to roll these dice, and there we go. We have, we only picked 2 dice to do your total number, and you got a 9. So I am going to roll, on my end to set this difficulty number, and it's not that difficult of a thing to do. Your experience with this, it's a shuttle, so it's not like it's a complex navigational system. So I'm going to roll here. We want this total number to be less than 9.
Please roll bad.
Less than 9. That is much less than 9. All right. So you succeeded on this roll. So tell us what you do to this shuttle.
She rips the panel away, and while still making eye contact with just with the rest of the group, she's kind of just one-handed, like that feels like roughly where that can go, and just like maintaining weird little connections. And you see her like reach into her pocket and get like a tiny thing of tape and like tear it off, and just is like, this is like a no look fix, and just says, okay, someone drive. I should hold this.
Who's punching it?
I assume I'm going to be driving until someone else says so, because Ilay knows how to fly, and they're going to fly if... Yep.
I love it. Also on controls, but he knows that Ilay is all about the flight, so he's just like,
sure.
Have at it.
I love it. Yeah, well, it certainly has some giddy up, and you all sort of rocket out of the hangar. Fortunately, the doors were open, and you head on your way to Mandira, the coastal town, and we will find you all there next week as you investigate a possible crashed Haathoreii ship, the first actual sighting of possibly a Haathoreii in weeks since you all returned from the moon of Haathoreii. And that's where we'll finish out for episode 1 of season 2 of Into the Motherlands. Hooray!
Woo!
Hey, thanks everybody. I'm
We
so
did it.
so glad to be back with you all. Abria, you're a brilliant addition to this crew. I thank you for going for it. I have joined casts in subsequent seasons and it's hard, and you are brilliant, and I'm so happy to have you with us. So thank you.
I'm just
And
so
of course,
happy to
to
be
the 4 of you, but you all know I love you. I loved you all last season and I still do. So let's do some outros. Let's let everybody know who you are, where they can find you on the internet, what other things you've got going on, because we are all busy humans with lots to do. So we'll do that and then we'll get out of here for this week. We will see you all next week, next Wednesday, same time, same place. So be sure to come on back. Let's go in, you know what, since we're on the roll screen, let's go ahead and go in the order that we're on there, starting with you, Abria, on the right.
Oh, hi, I'm Abria. Follow me on social media at Quiddy, Q-U-I-D-D-I-E. I stream all over the place. You can catch me on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, playing the Gax Pack over on Gary Con's, Gary Con Live is the name of the Twitch channel, along with some awesome friends. Yeah, what else? I know I'm missing things. On Friday, you can actually catch me doing a chat back for season 2 of Failed Save at 6:30 p.m. And we'll talk about the previous season and our plans for season 3. And yesterday, my episode of Narrative Telephone on Critical Role dropped. So please go catch that. I did my best. I'm like sweaty just remembering how it went. So that happened. Yeah, that's it.
Hooray! Yes, all of those things. All right, moving on to the left. Michael's up next.
Hi. Michael Sinclair II. I go by Michael Crits everywhere on Twitter and Twitch. I am on Let's Get Wildmount with Critical Bard on Saturdays. I'm on Second Star to the Right, a TTRPG that takes place in Neverland every other Friday. So not this Friday, but the following one. That's how we do that. And then I'm on Fae Forge Academy, a D&D podcast in the Feywild that drops, like I said, every Friday. And then I play Magic the Gathering on my own channel when I have the time, when I'm not swamped with STEM classes, because I'm a comp sci major. So that's me.
I love it. Yes, all of the things, all of the many varied things. How about you, DJ? What you got going on? Plenty, I know.
Oh, hi. STEM
Oh,
for the
hi.
win. I'm going to start with that. I'm DJ Knight. I'm a full-time space and sci-fi streamer here on Twitch. I play a lot of games. Elite Dangerous is probably the game that I've played more than any other game on Twitch. It is this procedural generation of the Milky Way galaxy. I'm also on another amazing TTRPG game that, you know, some of this cast is involved with. It's literally 24 hours from now. I'll be in that game with Cypher Tier. It's called the Black Dice Society. It's awesome. I play Desmond, who is a lycanthrope. So a little bit of Wolvie in there. But yes, I love this game. I love the cast that is here. I play games and make silly sounds with the Go XLR. That's pretty much what I do. Hi, I'm DJ Knight. Same name here, everywhere.
I love it. Yeah, Black Dice Society. Everybody should go check it out because we've got 2 cast members here, and their DM is our brilliant. What is his title? Tommy, I don't want to get it
Lead
wrong.
developer.
Thank you. Our lead developer here for Motherlands, Mr. B. Dave Walters, is their DM. So all of the Motherlands love over there. Go check them out tomorrow night.
Also, hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave. Moving on to the left, Christina. Are you mad at me for not letting you be an admiral?
I mean, we'll talk about it later, but
Oh shit.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Oh,
That's
we all know
worse.
that disappointed is worse.
That's worse.
Just gonna throw that out there. But while I'm sitting here in my own spewing sense of consternation with my DM, I will tell you about myself. My name is Christina Ariel, and I host and act and do all that kind of fun stuff. I am the host of a show on StarWars.com and Star Wars YouTube called Star Wars The High Republic Show. So watch that. It's on the YouTubes. And I just do a bunch of stuff. And I put it on my social media. So that way you guys can keep up there, because I don't keep up with it. I look at my Google Calendar and go, oh crap, that's today. So follow me at KRYSTINAARIELLE, and I'll be there doing stuff and things. And maybe I'll post a picture with my monocle.
Yeah, I love
Or
that
maybe not.
thing.
You don't know. You don't know. But thank you guys. This is really exciting. Welcome, Quiddy. I love you. It's really exciting
I love you.
Quiddy and I played together on Pirates of Leviathan, and it's our first time playing together. Well, no, from Christmas.
Oh, that's right.
We were reindeer at Christmas, so it's
Yes.
it's just very nice to be like. I'll say it like this, and then I'll close.
Okay.
We both are so excited because we're reunited. Hey.
Does it feel so good?
She didn't do that part.
Wow.
I love
Oh,
Sorry,
well
it's understood.
then.
you so much.
The patient, kind soul that lets us be here every week with this nonsense is up next.
You know,
It's
I'm
Anya.
reconsidering, but the
I mean, I
contract is
feel that.
signed. Contract is signed and the invoice is in. It's too late.
That's it.
But hi, I'm Tanya DePass. If I don't know you personally, Cypher works just fine. You can find me here, obviously, on Wednesday nights now, back at it with Motherlands RPG. Tomorrow, again, I get to play 2 nights in a row with DJ. It makes me super happy because
Best love.
because our characters always play so well off each other. But on Black Die Society, I am Fen, the Draw Dump Pure Blood Hunter, who is going to be real interesting tomorrow, considering everything we learned about her character last week. And then 2 exciting things that are happening before we come back. Sunday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, I am guest DMing on the Guild over on Felicia Day's channel. And I'm going to... Okay.
From the ether.
I was like, you said that out loud. We have to talk after this episode. 7
Oh,
p.m.
I'll drop
Pacific-
shade on them right now. I wrote a very cool module and they literally pooped on it.
Oh no.
My episode
Live.
is now known as a one shit instead of a one shot. And I didn't do that. So good luck.
So tune in on Sunday because it's going to be good.
Yep.
Oh boy. Well, and actually, a Motherlands related thing next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Chicago time. I had to think about it because I have to convert to BST because Leeds University, Leeds Law School, actually kindly invited me and B. Dave to come talk about Motherlands and what a world could look like with no colonialism and no slavery in relation to anti-colonial law. So he and I are going to give a talk. It's an event. It's a free event. So follow Motherland's Twitter. We'll share a lot about it. I just want to give you the right time because time zones are a lot. So 12 p.m. Central, convert that to whatever time zone you're in. It'll be like a Zoom seminar, but it'll be recorded. And we get to talk about cool stuff. And I also get to brush the rust off of presenting because who knows the last time I properly presented anything. But yeah, that's before we come back. And Motherlands, as you know, is on break until season 10 starts May 16th. So what did I say? Did I say
You sure did. And I was like, oh my God, are we
Oh,
on
are
break
we on
after
a
this?
break?
Here right now, though. So like, this does not feel like a break from Motherlands. Just throwing it out there. Just
I meant
if I may.
rivals. Wow. I got nervous and mixed up my shows.
You good? I was concerned
You know
for a
what?
second. I was like, I feel like we're here right now.
You know what? It's been a long day and
Illusion.
I get to stay up even later tomorrow, so I'm gonna stop talking.
Woo! But we made it. We made it. Oh, I love it. I love it. And I have been your storyteller. I'm Okenyo, also known as DM Jazzy Hands. You can find me on Twitter and here on Twitch at DM Jazzy Hands. Actually, the rest of this week, since we don't have rivals on Sunday, the rest of this week is fairly chill for me. I do stream a couple of days a week on my channel. We play RPGs and do silly role playing and have a good time. So you can come check that out. And I think that's everything that I'm doing before I see you all next. So more updates next Wednesday. But like I say, we will be back in 7 days, next Wednesday, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Convert from there. And we will see what the crew finds. In the meantime, have we picked a location for our community this evening?
Yes, Persephoroth, who is also part of my stream team, Team
Ooh.
Cypher, is on right now. And she's
Great.
playing she is playing, oh my god, Dragon Quest 11.
Oh, all right. So we are going to raid Persephoroth. Please give Sephi all of the hype. We appreciate that. Team Cypher, we love it. We love it. And we will see you all next Wednesday for episode 2 for more Cortex handbook giveaways and maybe some other things in the coming weeks. So we can't wait to see you then. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay healthy, wear a mask over your mouth and your nose, even if you've been vaxxed. And as always, happy gaming, y'all. Thanks so much for being here. Good night.